Hey everyone, Zero in the house, and welcome back to another video, World of Vision Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, new content overview, where we have a look at what's new every Wednesday. Today, the main feature seems to be new vision card, tailored for lightning, attack and magic alike, but that's not all we're getting this week. So we have a couple of MA2s, a couple of EXs, and also a new piece of story. So why don't we go through the content and start with the summons. Today, no gimmicky banners. We are presented straight away with a standard banner for the vision card, which is called Thalia vs. Rachis round 30, indicating that this is not the first time they fought in regards of Adelard. So what will this card give us? Upon maxing it, we will get Lightning Unit Agility up by 15%, Lightning Unit Acquired AP up by 25%, and Lightning Unit Water Attack Resistance up by 20%. Very good card for PvP. Especially now that water is quite strong. There are situations where water can beat lightning, and hopefully this card will help lightning teams survive Asterisk a bit better. Now, if you give this card specifically to lightning, that unit will get max HP up by 5% and area attack resistance up by 10%, and both Thalia and Rachis will get a match up 30% boost, specifically only for global. So now that we also have selection quests between 11 and 13, which we'll look at it a bit later, this card will certainly help you boost that Thalia onto that UR level, because she's extremely good MR. We go further down, we have a free 5-step banner for the card, which is pretty much standard, but what I don't like at all, it's this paid banner. This paid banner has been downgraded from what we've had in the last 2.5 years. This used to be a 2k paid banner with the vision card guaranteed. Now it's been downgraded to 1000 paid. There's only 2% chance of having the vision card on the guaranteed slot, which I think is bullshit. Why do they have to do this? Do they know that lightning is so strong that this card will elevate them to the next level? I think that's probably a good reason, because 15% agility is pretty OP. So I can see why they did this, but at the same time I don't agree the steps that they took, the strategy behind making this only 1000 paid with only 2% chance of getting the card. I also see this as a technique to drain your standard free visual resources, because we're probably gonna be getting a summer unit soon, now that June is coming. So they probably want to make sure that not everyone can get that summer Helena that is coming soon. I'm sure that it's her. They've been talking about her in a younger version. I'm sure that that woman is gonna drain almost everyone's visual, obviously unless you're batting for the opposite team. Anyway, we have two lightning featured banners, which I think are not that good. You should be relying on getting these units as a collateral for when you pull for limited units, so a complete skip. And we have some repeat banners that are going away next week. Don't forget to get those vision card shards, because that's pretty good value. It's a really good card, so if you don't get it this time, because luckily it's not limited, you still want to make sure that you have some vision shards for when you eventually pull it. Let's go on to the shop. Doesn't seem like there's any special shop in the special shop, so we'll go directly into the early summer 2022 deluxe shop. And I believe that here, one thing that might interest people could be this pack for 300 paid. I did read in some comments that people are struggling with Blossoms of Paradise, so if you're desperate, this is one way of going about it, although it would not be my preferred way of trying to attain these materials. Other than that, there's nothing I would consider here. Let's go on to the free shop, and here I think that after some analysis, I would only touch this pack, this equipment enhancing pack. As we can see, we can get 300 gold adamantite for only 2.5 on top of silver and copper. This is an extremely good deal, because if we only try to get 300 gold adamantites on their own, that's almost 4 million. So definitely grab this pack. You won't be sorry. So we can grab 5 packs for 2.5, so that's 500 gold adamantite and also 500 silver and copper, so extremely good value there. Other than that, nothing else I will touch. It is important not to dismiss the fact that we have a specific shop for the vision card shards that is out this week, and we also have a feature shop for the units that can be EX'd and MA2'd. Before I go on to the power play, I'll talk about the guild. We do have guild rate with Persona 5 Royal bosses, so if you're in a good guild, I'm fairly sure that you want to aim for the highest score, because we do get some special titles only for the top units, only for the top guilds, so I'm sure that some of you that are in the competitive area will want to attain it. Let's go on to the power play. So today we have selection quest missions specifically for lightning, so we'll have missions between 11 and 13, and the item that we are gonna get this time is called Silent Sollerets. So Sollerets, I did my research, and apparently it's a piece of footing equipment that actually existed in real life that knights wear to protect their feet. Yeah, it's quite interesting that they translated that into the game. So a bit of medieval piece of history for you. It could be related with the fact that Val is somewhat North European looking, perhaps Viking looking, especially with the fact that she has a spear. Vikings were known to have shield and sword more than anything else, but female Nordic women were known as Valkyries, and I think there is evidence of them using spears on top of swords. Might be wrong there, but I think there is some sort of correlation there. Anyway, by doing question 11, you will attain the piece of equipment that is absolutely tailored for Val, and then by doing quest 12 and 13, you'll get the necessary books that will allow you to max this piece of equipment. Now, we do have a new piece of story, so what's that? That's 500 visual guaranteed that you can get, plus 500 from the mission, already checked. And from there, we can move on to this week's EXable units, as well as the units that got their master ability too. Let's start with the EXable units, so we'll go on to it. So today we have Raldor and Sakura. So we'll go with Raldor first. So what did this guy get? So in regards of nodes, we see fair amount, so 2 luck nodes, actually a 6+6 luck node as well. Seems like they're almost trying to make him into an evade unit, which is quite fun. He does have relatively low dex and luck stats, but I still only have him at level 80. So it's possible that he might touch the 200 figure, he might get into the 200 values, but it's still not that high. So could evade something, I'd imagine, but might not want to rely on him as an evaded unit. So at job level 19, he will get Demon Purger upgrade. So and Demon Purger will become Unerring Demon Purger. This attack will reach max power after taking damage 2 times, lower target's defense for 3 turns, then deal large and increased damage according to own number of times, having taken damage up to 2 times and guaranteed hit. So that's super confusing, the wording, but important thing that now this hit becomes guaranteed hit, and it reaches maximum power after Raldor gets hit 2 times. So now we have another fire evade buster, really good. I think in regards of ice, Rafale and Laswell are the better known evasion units, and Rafale is weak to strike, so have fun there. Have fun finding a Rafale. Now, job level 22, Raldor will get Warrior Spirits Enhancement. This will become Warrior Spirits Stout. This passive will increase max HP, attack, pierce, and missile attack resistance. So Raldor will be less successful to die in one hit at a distance, pretty much, which is always something nice to have. The upgradable node for Raldor is HP. He might need it. He seems to be kind of a bruiser that does rely on being in the front lines, so having extra HP definitely welcome. I wish it was attack, but maybe he doesn't need it. Anyway, job level 25, he'll get Demolition Fist. This attack will destroy any barrier that reduces physical damage on target. Then it will deal medium damage and significantly raise own defense for 1 turn. So it seems like they're really trying to make him into a more resistant to damage unit that can be in the front lines. Perhaps they realized that maybe Raldor was having a survival issue. I haven't used him much, as you can see. As you saw before, I only have him at level 80. So I can imagine that they want to make him a bit more viable in regards of survivability and not dying in 2 shots when he's in the front row. Now, from here, let's see what Sakura is all about. Sakura being one of my least level units, but maybe she might get the chance of getting leveled depending on how good her EX is. Anyway, job level 19 for Sakura. She will get Thunder Lights enhancement, where it will become Quick Thunder Lights. This attack will lower lightning and light resistance of targets within range for 3 turns, then deal lightning damage medium based on caster's match stat and raises own agility for 3 turns. Whew, very good skill. The fact that Sakura is dual element is pretty good. You might not benefit from the lightning element units, but it's still good to have her in a lightning team so that she's not affected by earth teams, and she has other light teams that are quite good as well. I think this is actually really good in regards of having a lightning imperil, especially if you don't have Resnick. So if you don't want to use Resnick, or you want to use an offensive unit with an imperil that is not on a limit break, then I think that Sakura will be your girl. Then at job level 22, Sakura will get a passive upgrade. Thunder Blossom enhancement will become Quick Blossom Thunder. This will raise agility and attack magic attack resistance piercing rate and raises power of rebel intention, and also increase piercing rate. So in short, this will deal much more damage, ignore spirit to a certain degree, and also magic attack resistance from the enemy. So really good. I'm expecting a lot of damage being output by equipping this passive. And at job level 25, Sakura will get Rending Bright Blade, where she'll destroy any barrier that reduces magic damage on target, then deals large damage based on caster's match stat. And it is a 4 square single unit attack, cast speed 120, so seems like it's quite quick. Not bad after all. I think actually I'm starting to feel a bit more compelled to build her and put her in a magic offensive team alongside Elena, where Elena doesn't necessarily need to be an evade team. Similarly, there is also a case scenario to put Sakura in a Thunder team, especially with a Thunder Imperil and her, let's say her weapon, her signature weapon that does increase lightning attack. I think there's a case scenario for her to be paired up with Ibarra and Ranan, or another lightning unit. So if that's something for you to think about and see how you can make it work. Now from here, let's go on to this week's units that got their MA2. So we will start with Mish. Mish doesn't get that much. He only gets agility up by 10, activation time minus 80%, and plantoid killer by 50. Don't get fooled by the fact that he gets activation time minus 80%. That's actually massive. He'll become almost an insta caster, especially if the activation time is paired with the right vision cards that will increase his activation time. Remember, activation time should only work on his base skill, so it's all compounding. So if you add activation time by other means, it will all compound. So something to keep in account. I think this is actually good, especially for class matches. If you want to have like a limited team with Terra, you can obviously add Mish and maybe another, and maybe King Mont as well. That looks like 240 already. So lots of potential there. Now moving on, we've got Ramada. Ramada will get water unit allies max HP by plus 10%, then paralysis resistance by plus 25, on max TP by 30%, attack up by 30%, pierce attack up by 20, and paralysis activation rate up. So from the looks of it, she would be very well paired with Astrus because Astrus does have innate stun resistance. So if you're going against tanks where they have Blade Bash, then your Ramada and Astrus won't get impaired by that status effect. So really good there. I like the fact that she has her own paralysis activation rate up, so maybe that will counterbalance any resistances that the enemy might have. Really good overall. And I like the attack 30% and pierce attack plus 20. Those obviously are added on top of her own vision card that gives her crazy buffs. So I think we're getting into UR territory, which is not, is pretty crazy when you think about it. She's a starting unit and now she is pretty much viable. I think she is slow and she doesn't have much base attack to start with, but I think it's still worth working on her. I have her at level 120 and I haven't been happier ever since. But I might be biased. I like her. I like how she looks. And now, Nasha, another unit that I brought to level 120 as soon as she was EXable. Now she gets Ice Unit Alice max HP up by 10%, Berserk resistance by plus 25, own max HP by plus 25, defense plus 10, and hate plus 5. So super happy about this. Why? Because now she can use that white mage sub that with raise. You can raise her to Fate 97 and not be worried about her being too susceptible to King Mont's Berserk, because now she has Berserk resistance plus by 25. So that means that she can resist King Mont's limit burst, and she can do her job a bit better with the fact that she has innate hate by 10. So super happy with this upgrade as well. The fact that she has plus 25% HP will put her in the 5-digit HP, which is absolutely vital for a tank. So super satisfied with this upgrade on paper at least. Finally, Ayaka. Ayaka gets Wind Unit Alice max HP by 10%, Wind Attack plus 15, Own max HP plus 10%, Area Attack Resistance by plus 20, Stop Resistance by plus 20, Angelic Grace ability used by plus 1. So overall, Ayaka becomes a better healer to be surviving any Kiton and who else inflicts stop? Oh yeah, so Kiton and Oberon have stop attacks, so you'll probably have a better, easier time dealing against Earth, especially with the fact that Ayaka is supposed to have high faith. You'll resist those status effects a bit better, and enabling your team not to be paralyzed or disabled with the fact that Ayaka is stopped. So super happy about that. The Angelic Grace plus 1, also amazing, where she heals and reduces and removes all the status effects. Super happy about that. So actually that compels me to work on her and get her to job level 120, especially because I don't have Yuna. I think she's gonna be one of the best healers that I have in my current arsenal now that she has this MA2. And with that, that is all. Thank you very much for sticking until the end. We hit the 20-minute mark, almost the 20-minute mark. So if you guys aren't already, please consider liking and subscribing this video. Feel free to give us feedback, whether it's positive or negative. We're always looking for ways to improve and provide you with information that is pertinent to you. So looking forward to hearing from you, and we'll see you next week. You guys take care and have a good one.